Hello, everyone. There's been a significant development out of California that goes beyond the usual discussions about taxes. If you've been hearing about a billionaire exodus and are curious about the details, TechCrunch recently published an in-depth article that sheds light on this matter. The story revolves around a ballot initiative by California's largest healthcare union, which aims to impose a one-time 5% wealth tax on individuals with a net worth exceeding $1 billion. Welcome to our channel. The objective is to generate approximately $100 billion to counterbalance federal cuts to Medicaid and Affordable Care Act subsidies. At first glance, this might seem like just another tax proposal. However, the real cause for concern in Silicon Valley isn't the 5% rate itself. The article clarifies that it's the method used to calculate this tax that's causing panic. The proposal would assess founders based on their voting control within their companies rather than just the actual equity they possess. To illustrate, consider Larry Page, Google's co-founder. He owns about 3% of Google's equity, but wields around 30% of its voting power due to a dual-class share structure. Under this proposal, he would be taxed based on his 30% control stake. For companies worth hundreds of billions, the difference between 3% and 30% is a staggering amount. Another example from the article: a SpaceX alumnus at the Series B stage of his grid tech company could face a tax bill that would erase his entire holdings. The proposal's architect, a law professor, claims that Silicon Valley is overreacting. He suggests founders wouldn't have to sell shares. They could defer the tax until they actually sell or submit alternative, lower valuations from certified appraisers. He frames it as California sharing in the risks. If your startup fails, you pay nothing. But if your startup is the next Google, you're giving California a share of your gamble. However, for founders, this offers little consolation. Valuing a private startup is notoriously complex, and if the state disagrees with your appraisal, penalties can be imposed on the person who calculated it. You're facing a substantial potential liability based on control you hold, rather than wealth you've realized. The resistance has been fierce and surprisingly bipartisan. A secret signal chat named Save California includes figures from various political backgrounds, including David Sachs, Trump's crypto czar, and Chris Larson, a mega donor to Kamala Harris. They label the proposal as communism and poorly defined. Some are even taking preventive measures. Larry Page was recently reported to have bought over $173 million worth of waterfront property in Miami. Even California's governor, Gavin Newsom, is opposing it. He stated to the New York Times, "This will be defeated, there's no question in my mind," and that he's been relentlessly working behind the scenes against it. For now, the union remains undeterred. An executive told the Wall Street Journal, "We're simply trying to keep emergency rooms open and save patient lives." The few who left have shown the world just how outrageously greedy they truly are. The proposal needs about 875,000 signatures to qualify for the November ballot, where it would require a simple majority to pass. So, while this isn't a done deal yet, it's revealing a significant tension. It's not just a debate about taxes, but a complex conflict over how to value unrealized wealth, the power of founder control, and who should finance California's social safety net. It's a story about potential power and where the line lies between a fair share and a deal-breaker. What do you think? Is this a fair way to tax extreme wealth tied up in companies, or is it a policy that could fundamentally change where innovation gets built? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for listening. Like, share, and subscribe.